What is going on, everybody? Welcome on into the Tim Warren Show. What a great weekend for crypto holders out there, as we did receive word the government shutdown is coming to an end. Does that mean that the crypto bottom is in? Today, we're going to look at some news, talk through some of that story, those stories, look at the charts, let you know what you need to know. Here's what I will kind of say right off the bat before even getting anything. Whether the bottom is in or not, I'm going to continue to echo some things that I said last week, and I'll show you today on the charts why I'm going to continue to say this. The bottom is either in or it's extremely close. Stick around through the show because I'm going to explain why. If you don't hear it, though, today might not be a long show. My voice is obliterated. I'm thinking there's probably a 87% chance that I have strep throat right now. And it's not at 100 because I haven't gone to a doctor, and I probably will not go to a doctor. I don't like going to doctors to confirm things like this. But my throat's on fire. My ears are clogged, so I'm hearing my own voice. If you think my voice is annoying, imagine living in my head with clogged ears right now as I listen to this. And I feel like I'm about to collapse. So we're going to do the best we can to be here as long as possible. You might hear a little more from Smay and Shrum today, answering some questions, but I'm going to do the best I can. I'm here with you. You don't take days off on especially big days like today that could have such pivotal consequences for the future of people's portfolio. So we're here even when we're sick. Let's introduce the team. Smay, Shrum, I hope you guys are doing better than I am. In North Florida, Smay's in a winter wonderland, it looks like. I'm loving the Buc-ee's hat. Tell me how you're hopefully having a better day than me. Am I right?
Tim, I'm having actually, can I be honest with you, Tim? Yesterday was a terrible day and I'm still recovering. I lost a golf tournament. I lost all my fantasy matchups, and my team got lost on primetime football, the Steelers. Just cherry on top, I just recently adopted the Pittsburgh Penguins and the rest of the Pittsburgh teams.
Oh, they suck.
And they lost.
Yeah.
So Tim, what can you do, huh? And now I'm sitting there cold in my office.
Didn't your football team win? No, didn't West Virginia beat old Colorado?
Okay,
so
but that was Saturday. So that was Saturday. Saturday was an up, and then we went real down. But Saturday we beat Colorado. Swell. I'm loving our rookie QB. It's great.
I'll tell you this. I think the person with the best weekend probably was Shrum. He's not sick. He doesn't have the same level of fandom for the sports world that Smay and I have. Shrum, tell me your weekend was good. One of us has to have a good weekend.
Oh, Tim, I'm better than I deserve. I had a great weekend with family, and we went to Charlottesville, Virginia, and I'd never been, and it is a charming town/city. It's pretty cool. It is the home to the rival of Virginia Tech, Virginia. So
that made me more sick even hearing that that's where you went over the weekend. So yeah,
but it was a good time. It's a city that I enjoyed. I don't know that it's a city that I need to go back to again. But there was a very lovely apple orchard that we went and had a good time touring the apple orchard. So I had a good time with family. Kind of got down, touched a lot of grass, and it's been a great weekend.
Yeah, going once to Charlottesville is more than enough times. So glad you survived the weekend and you're here with us still. That's good news. Let's get into it here, people. Let's get into what's going on some charts. Go over to my screen here. In case you missed it, Bitcoin. We didn't adjust this real quick, Smay. Just hang tight. Just leave it there. I want to fix this real quick so people can see the full price action. That's good enough. Good enough for government work. Good enough for today when sick show. Bitcoin making a nice little jump back up here. We did get above 106,000 last night. I'm not going to tell you guys what, where, and how. Our community did enter a trade last night. You probably could understand a little bit about the nature of that trade last night. I'm going to save that, though. That is for our VIP trading group. If you are in the VIP trading group, you have questions, let me know. I'll be in Discord still, even while I'm sick, even while I'm dying. But nice pop-up here for Bitcoin. Does this confirm, though, that the bottom is in? I'm not even sure the flow of show I want to do today, if I'm being honest with you, Shrum. So we're going to wing this as we go. Let's take a look at Bitcoin on the daily chart here. Good sign coming in. This is not an official buy signal just yet. I want to be very clear here, but it's a very good sign. The last time we got this buy signal was not the bottom of the pullback, But the last time we got a good buy signal on Bitcoin, you're going to go back here into October, and this is when we had a nice little run from roughly 103,000 back up towards 116, right? But in doing that, we put in a lower high, and then after we fell down, we put in a lower low. So we are technically, even on the daily chart, in a bear trend. But I want to put some smiles on some of your faces, seeing a green dot and the slowing down of daily money flow, right? We're not positive just yet, but we are sideways, and more than likely, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next couple of days, we should, in theory, see this go to the upside, and all of a sudden, we have a daily buy signal on Bitcoins for the first time since back at the end of October. Now, before we run with that and say, that's it, Tim just said the bottom is in, I want to be very clear on how these things can go. Why did I say a second ago, the bottom is either in or it's close to in? Because when you look at these signals, some of them, let's say, for example, back here on September 29th, when we got the buy signal back here on September 29th, the bottom was already in, and we just continued to go up to new all-time highs. Very cool, right? When we got it over here, technically, we actually got this buy signal here on October 21st, right? The green dot, the positive money flow came in October 3rd, 21st. You can see Bitcoin's price actually would drop a little bit lower on the 22nd before continuing to the upside. Why? Because even though you get these buy signals, no matter what time frame you're looking at, you can always anticipate that there could be a misdirection move just to kind of fake you out. Meaning, if you get a buy signal one day, sometimes what the price will do after hitting that is come back down, give it a little bit of a fake out, retest some of those lows, and then continue to its upward move. For example, right? Sometimes we just take off. Sometimes, though, look at this. We were getting buy signals as early as August 28th back here. We would crash lower than the buy signal. We would come to new lows on this little trend line, and then we would bottom out around 107,300, and we'd take off to the upside. Good trade. So what I'm saying here is sometimes when you get these green, gotta put that back up. Sometimes when you get the green dots and the positive money flow, you just rip to the upside, and you just take a nice big rally upwards. Our trajectory, by the way, if we're going to look at the daily chart here on Bitcoin, what would our target be? It's not going to be that high, I don't think. I want to see where our smart trail is. Give me just a second for this to load. It would be somewhere here in the range of roughly $113,000 currently is the top of this smart trail. I don't see an order block in place, right? The last buy signal hit an order block. But for right now, that would be my target once we get confirmation. After we get confirmation, be prepared that a weekly buy signal could come in at some point, in which case we're talking about much larger levels. We're talking about at least back up towards 124,000. But during this bull market, every time we get a weekly buy signal, we stretch that smart trail and go higher. So new all-time highs will come when we get the next weekly buy signal, in my personal opinion. But for now, we're focused on the highest buy that's coming in, daily chart. Target back up towards $113,000. However, it's not uncommon. It's not even unlikely. As we find ourselves wrestling with this order block currently, you could easily in the next couple of days see us return back down towards $100,000. Heck, we could even go a little bit lower. We have a nice order block down here at 97 before we finally make our big move. Why? Because sometimes these buy signals have misdirection moves, and then the real stuff takes off. One of the reasons why I believe that we could see a misdirection move and a move back down first before we break back up towards 113 is because as you trickle down to some lower time frames, we are starting to see some vulnerabilities. For example, here on the 4-hour chart, if I can get rid of that drawing tool, there we go. Let's take a look over here. You are going to see that we today are printing a sell signal on the 4-hour chart. Last time we got that sell signal, go back to November 2nd. What did Bitcoin's price action do on November 2nd? It had a big, big, big collapse. Am I saying we're going to have a massive collapse just like November 2nd? Not necessarily, but a pullback isn't necessarily out of the cards. The 4-hour suggesting 102.5, 103 could easily be touched if we don't go even a little bit lower than that. So expect some volatility as you are seeing some like low time frame buy signals, intermediate time sell signals, higher time frames like the daily chart giving us close to buy signals again. We're not ready right now to just rip to the upside, but I do think that that bottom is very, very close, or it's in at the moment. I wish I could confirm the exact bottom for you. Let's give it a couple more days and we'll have a lot more understanding of what that will look like. By the way, let's get some other positivity. A lot of people freaked out last week when Bitcoin dropped below the 50-week moving average. Well, if you are one of the people freaked out about that, we told you here, do not freak out when you see wicks below the 50-week moving average. Why? Because a wick below, where part of a week is spent down there, doesn't mean much. It happened back in April of 2025. It happened back in August of 2024. It's happened several times during bull trends dating back, you can go to the summer of 2021, so on and so forth. The real significance of when you should worry about the 50-week moving average, if this is something you've been paying attention to, listening, you got to wait to see several candles break below, and then you can start to have a, are we in trouble type of question. That's not something we have this week, at least not right now. Why? Because after wicking down as low as 98,800 on some exchanges last night, really, we closed at 104,682. Therefore, just like the other times we've come and pulled back down, all we have at the moment is a wick below. No candles have closed. But let me make sure we're clear here. Even if we did close, let's say this week isn't very good. Let's say we do close closer towards 102.6. Let's say we do go lower and go down towards 98.97. That is not the end of the world either. And we're going to get to some news, obviously, as to why things are rallying. As you see in the title, the biggest news affecting price right now is the announcement that the government shutdown is coming to an end. Or is it, right? We got to break that kind of down for you here in a little bit. But there are several times, or at least there's definitely a definitive moment, where we, during a bull market, spent multiple weeks below the 50-week moving average. Anyone who told you that if we fall below and close a candle below the weekly moving average, the bull market is definitely over, clearly has never come back here to look during the 2020 pullback that happened, of course, not only during COVID, but before COVID as well. You can almost kind of treat COVID like an outlier, right? You definitely could treat COVID like an outlier and say, well, some people thought the world was ending. Let's not take this period of time too seriously, and I won't. But I want to be very clear. That is a time where Bitcoin spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 weeks with price action below the 50-week moving average, and we would go on to have a very good bull market. But even before COVID wrecked the markets, take a look at this right here. Make sure you guys study your history, go back and look at charts before you buy into a Twitter beef between someone who says we never spend time below the 50-week moving average unless it's a bear market. Because if you go back pre-COVID, I think it's actually into 2019. So November and December of 2019, we spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, 2 whole months trying to decide, would we lose the 50-week moving average or would we be able to continue to bounce off of it? If this was the time right now, like if we were sitting right here, let me start a brand new one. If this is what we were looking at, let's go one more candle. I guarantee you, crypto bears on Twitter, on X, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, on whatever other social media platform you want to talk about, I guarantee you they are screaming for the hills. Sell everything you got. The bull market's over. This is not an extended bull market. Bitcoin's a scam. We didn't even get back to new all-time highs. It's over. Said, done, go. And of course, anyone who would have listened to them would have been wrecked for the next couple of months because Bitcoin would shoot back to the upside, ignoring that. Now, of course, COVID, let's get rid of the replay. COVID would take us back down lower. And of course, some of those bears would have said, oh, I see, I told you. But anyone who listened to them back in COVID time also would have been wrecked because Bitcoin would have a fantastic, all of crypto would have a fantastic bull market following that chaotic time, even a chaotic time where we lost for 2 whole months the 50-week moving average. So in a nutshell, what's my overall point here? We haven't lost 50-week moving average. We closed back above it. But even if we close one below it, I want you to be clear. If anyone here says, will Tim turn bearish if we close a weekly candle below the 50-week moving average? No, I will not. And the reason why is because of November and December of 2019. Now, I've been kind of all over the place here. I told you guys the bottom isn't necessarily guaranteed in. Here's the reality. I don't know. I don't know if the bottom is in or not. I think there is a decent chance, not a guarantee, not a promise. I think there's a decent chance we can make a move back down low. But I made sure not to sell a single Satoshi. I made sure to buy cryptocurrencies at lower levels. I still have lower level buys for crypto in case Bitcoin drops lower, cryptos drop lower. But for right now, we have kept a very proper strategy where we do not sell into the fear. We do not sell into bloody candles, bearish candles. We buy dips. We hodl on. We look for opportunities during bear trends to short markets and make money no matter which way the market's going. And if you have been following our strategy, if you have been in the Tim Warren Trading Group, my guess is you have been quite profitable because we've been doing a pretty decent job over there making sure people are aware. Even if you're not in the VIP Trading Group, even if you just follow us here on YouTube, I feel like you've had a pretty good run over the last couple of weeks because we've been preparing you for all these news, these big events. In a nutshell, how do you prepare right now? Be optimistic. Be confident. If you want to DCA in right now in case we just shoot up, be my guest. But if you want to hold on to some DCA powder for a little bit lower here on the price action, I don't think that's foolish either. Right now, make sure you're prepared for both situations. I'll go ahead and just say it. I entered a short last night. Why? Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to tell you the exact levels. This is how I explain it to my team and my group. If Bitcoin price shoots to the upside and breaks through my stop loss and starts to head back towards new all-time highs, if crypto just takes off like a bottle rocket, guess who's going to be very happy? This guy. Why? Yes, I lost the trade. Yes, I lost money from having a stop loss in a short position, but my entire long-term bag will do very, very well. I will have proper risk management. I'll lose a little bit of trading money, and I'll love the rewards because all of a sudden I'm in a good spot to make money in my portfolio. But if we head to the downside, which again, I think there's a good chance we will, my long-term portfolio will temporarily lose money. I will make money in my short-term trade. It's a perfect hedge against this crash. I will take profits once we both come back down, and I will buy the dip so I make even more money once the bottom is officially in. If I can grab this marker. Once the bottom is officially in, then I can make my moves to the upside, and crypto goes to the moon, and I get a lot of money. All right, I'm not really thinking a lot of creativity through what I'm saying today because my head is on fire, my throat is on fire. If you guys are just joining, pretty sure I have strep throat, so show's going to be fun today. What do I want to do next? We're going to have news to cover here, but I think I want to stay on the charts here. I think people, real quick in chat, as I go in here, do you guys want to keep looking at some charts? Do you want to jump into the news? We're going to do both. Which one do you want to see first? I'm going to leave that to you guys. B-Ball Golf said, Tim sounds like a case of the Mondays. Yeah, if my throat could have a case of the Mondays, let's go with that. I am having a case of the Mondays, and I'm feeling like crap. I'll tell you one chart to keep an eye on. We told you we've been watching this one here for a little bit. This is actually some not so great news for the markets. Not a nail in the coffin, nothing bad. But this chart right here, ladies and gentlemen, is called the gold chart. And the gold chart had a bear pennant that, if it had played out, could have been amazing for the crypto markets, because we've noticed a period of time, especially longer time frames, when gold is rallying, crypto is probably falling or at least stagnant. When gold is falling, crypto is probably rallying. Well, gold has broken resistance here today of the resistance of that bear pennant and is headed back up here above 4,100. Now, some of this is because there's liquidity being injected back into the markets. It's not going to crush Bitcoin. It's not going to crush crypto, at least right now. But I easily could see Bitcoin being a little stagnant while gold runs up a little bit more, maybe has closer towards a double top. We still know we're under a daily buy signal actually right now on gold, but we're still hovering on a weekly sell signal. But remember what I told you. Sometimes you get these weekly sell signals and you have a misdirection move. Could gold be coming back up here for a little bit more exit? And then it comes back down and hits our targets. In this case, on gold, we have weekly targets right now. Let's go check that and make sure we have the right level still. We have targets somewhere in the world north of 3,500 to 3,700 would be my best guess here for that target. But as gold's getting a little bit of a boost here, don't be surprised if Bitcoin, that's also starting to pick up some buy signals, maybe takes a little bit of a break, comes back down, liquidate some of the overexcited long positions that are over leveraged. And then once your hopes and dreams are dashed as a retail investor, because you're like, man, even the government ending the shutdown can't be bullish for crypto, That's when the whales buy, things take off, it goes to the upside. Gold, I don't want to say collapses because I don't think gold's going to collapse. I think gold continues its dip, its correction, and crypto starts to fly. But keep an eye on that chart. Again, not what you really want to see if you were hoping for a major rally on crypto to start off. This is, again, one of the charts that makes me suspect we're not quite ready for crypto prices to explode to the upside just yet. With that said, let's take a look at a couple of the cryptos out there and what they're doing. Ethereum making its way back up above some support right here. That is a very good sign. What are our daily charts telling us here? Again, almost nothing's going to have weekly buy signals at this point. We'll take a look at some of these coins. But Ethereum, just like Bitcoin, here very close. In fact, actually today with that positive money flow, we do officially have a daily buy signal on Ethereum. Does that mean the bottom's in? No, because again, we can't have a misdirection move. Will Ethereum want to bend back over and come back down? Some of that will be told to us. What does the 4-hour chart look like right here? Like I suspected, we do have a sell signal currently on the 4-hour chart. So expect some volatility, expect some chaos, but be encouraged by things like this daily buy signal coming in here on Ethereum. Guess who definitely has an Ethereum, that's a daily buy signal. XRP, one of the bigger movers of the blue chips here today. XRP with a buy signal coming in actually yesterday. It's making a move back up here towards resistance, but that's probably about as high right now it's going to get until we start to see weekly buy signals come in. Look for back around 266 on XRP to be some strong resistance. Once we break through that and we start to make moves up towards 270, 280, that's when I think you can start to look for bigger moves coming for XRP, bigger breakouts coming, and an upward trajectory. But for now, again, love the buy signal on the daily chart. What's the 4-hour chart telling me? It's telling me we're a little bit overbought here. You see the RSI is over to 70. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. There we go. Not quite a sell signal yet. That's why XRP is still kind of pumping here. But you can clearly see a handful of red reversal dots and triangles coming up here. We definitely have a rounding over of our oscillators. I told you the RSI is sitting over 70, and the money flow is still positive, but it's rounding here as well. What does this red box right here do? Well, you guys can't see it here. It's going to be really small, but inside of that, it's telling you the two lower key timelines. In this case, we're talking about the 1 hour and the 2 hour, I want to say. Yes. The 1 hour and 2 hour are suggesting a sell should happen. You're always going to see lower time frames begin the trend early. This is telling us while we do not have a sell signal yet here on the 4 hour, my guess is I'm going to look at this 1 hour and it's going to be a sell signal or at least extremely close. Yeah, there you go. We had a sell signal on the 1 hour chart. I knew that because this little box right here told me, hey, whether a bullish bearish or now, lower key time frames are bearish at the moment. This indicator, by the way, in case you guys have not seen it, Flow Signals is the best. You guys can say it's not the best. It's the best. We worked with a team here to create it. One of the ways you guys can get it, and this way I suggest it, when you sign up for our VIP trading group, we made it so that you guys get it for free along with the live trading sessions, along with a lot of other perks and trade setups that come in our trading group. But go check that out right now if you guys have been loving these signals. These signals have been very lethal. You guys can see here back the times we get these sell signals have been extremely beneficial for traders. This is one of the reasons why even during the chaos of the markets, whether we're going up or down, we're able to make money in this group because this indicator is super powered. And again, all of our VIP traders are able to use it and make money today. A couple other coins I thought were interesting. Uniswap is up 12% here. What a big, big day for Uniswap. This is one that might have already hit. Yeah, it's already stretched above the daily smart trail. So while there is a daily buy signal that came in a couple of days ago, you could have gotten in on, again, with this indicator. This is one as it's running into this order block. It definitely looks like that alone is probably a reason to look for some take profit and look for short position. No sell signal, but it is telling me lower time frame caution. When it's yellow, that means the 12-hour probably isn't bearish yet, but it's probably pretty close. But it's going to tell me 4-hour or 6-hour probably giving me some bearish signals. There you go. Look at that. Buttload of red reversals, bearish divergence, oscillator curving over, money flow starting to head back down. So good day for Uniswap. Good last couple of days for Uniswap, but more than likely a little bit of a cool off coming back down here for Uniswap. We can spend a lot more time later on discussing other altcoins if that's what you guys want to talk about in Q&A section. Let's get into the news of what's happened over the weekend. What has caused Bitcoin and gold and Uniswap and XRP and others to have big gains here over the last 24 hours? For more on that, I'm going to take a break, let my throat rest. Shrum, talk to us about the news, my friend.
Guys, smash the like for Tim jumping in there. If you've ever been sick, but just you showed up to work anyway and just made it happen, drop a 1 in chat. I know I have. I'm not sick today. I'm feeling pretty decent. But man, you got to give it up for Tim. All right, let's go over and jump over to my screen. There's a lot of media outlets out there trying to cover this government shutdown situation, but they're making it really opaque. I'm just going to give it to you straight. This is what's happening. This was the success that happened over the weekend. The Senate cloture vote, a pre-vote to the Senate debate and final vote, passed 60-40. That was the minimum margin needed for the cloture vote to pass. Highlighted here are the Democratic and independent senators that went ahead and voted in favor of it and pushed that pre-vote to now it can go to a final vote after debate. So leaders aim for a final vote by the end of the day or by early November 11th. So things are picking up. They're happening fast. This is an optimistic, a bullish movement happening in Washington. But it doesn't just involve the Senate. Like everything in Washington, it's got to go to the other chamber as well. So what happens if this passes the final vote in the Senate? It's going to go over to House Speaker Mike Johnson, and he issued a 36-hour return notice this morning urging members to head back to D.C. Those are members of the House of Representatives. No vote is scheduled yet, but Johnson's pledge is to move quickly this week via unanimous consent if possible, which would be the fastest way to vote on this. This is good. This is bullish, but it is not, I repeat, across the finish line yet. It has two major votes to go through. One, the final vote in the Senate, and then it goes to the House and is approved. And from there, it would be extremely unlikely to face any more opposition because it's just going to go to Trump's desk. He's a wild card, so who knows what could happen, but my guess is that he absolutely signs it. Here is what Polymarket is saying. When will the government shutdown end? November 13th, so Wednesday, right? Very, very optimistic. That is what's going on. Not going to sugarcoat it. Also not going to try to leave facts out. Just telling you exactly how it is. The initial vote in the Senate passed. The Senate's got to do the final vote. Then it goes to the House. I'm optimistic, and so is Polymarket. Jumping on over to the executive branch. Not going to leave Washington, but we're going to go over to the executive branch. The STEMI check, walk back, was given by Scott Bessent. He suggested to ABC that Donald Trump's proposed $2,000 tariff dividend may be referring to a decrease in taxes, but he hasn't spoken about it with the president yet. Okay, so that's a bit of a walk back from what we got on the November 9th, which was President Trump says Americans will get at least $2,000 dividend payment, excluding high-income earners. So there's more details to come. Obviously, we don't know what is meant by the high-income earners. Our research team is looking into exactly what that means, but the information does not seem to be public quite yet. That plus, kind of the walk back that we saw from Scott Bessent kind of indicates to me that President Donald Trump is coming out and announcing something before it's completely baked. We shall see. I would love to get $2,000, and I would love even more for everybody in the United States to get $2,000 of relief aid. And, there's all kinds of goodness that can come from that. One of the biggest things is that a lot of that money is going to rotate into risk assets. Now, some of it's going to go into Microsoft and OpenAI. Some of it's going to go to Amazon. But if it's like anything that happened last cycle, folks who get $2,000 who aren't used to getting very much money out of nowhere, they're going to rotate that money into what is going to give them the most return on investment. And no asset class does that better than crypto. Now, of course, a lot of people are going to lose money because they're going to buy a coin because they watch a YouTube video, and then it's going to go down to zero and they're going to lose all their money. But a lot of folks who understand how the markets work, they're going to look at cryptocurrency and they're going to say, okay, there's some assets here that can 10, 20x. Can you find 10, 20x's over in the stock market? Yes, but it's much harder. So there's also the self-fulfilling prophecy aspect of this, is that if you give $2,000 to the average American, they're probably going to put it in crypto. That doesn't mean that overnight these crypto assets are worth 10, 20x. It just means that speculators are pushing the prices higher. Again, have not gotten any kind of confirmation that $2,000 stimmy check is going to go out, but I want you to tell me in the comments and let me know here in the live chat, what coin would you put $2,000 into if you got that directly deposited into your American bank account today? Let me know. Let's get into the Federal Reserve news. Fed decision in December currently is 69% likely to be a 25 basis point cut. That's right, 69% likely to be a cut in December. That is markedly lower from where the spread was from Polymarket in the past. So just be aware that that is, it's not as certain this go around in December that we'll get a cut as it was for September. Now, what I will say is that the Federal Reserve has already said that they're going to end quantitative tightening on December 1st. And another thing that's up in the air is whether they're going to begin quantitative easing soon after, or if it's going to take multiple months, potentially multiple quarters. So that really is the long and short of the news that is going on today. The big thing that everybody's talking about this time, it isn't China. This time, it isn't some crazy chaos that's going on with some crazy liquidity wick. Today, what everybody wants to know on the market is the government going to open back up? And by all early indications, that it will. So we're keeping our fingers crossed. I'm here to tell you there's still definitely a chance that the government will not open this week. So don't put all your eggs in one basket here. But I'm also here to tell you that there hasn't been a better chance than now in this government shutdown saga for the government to open back up. The Senate Democrats went ahead and they made it happen. They did what they needed to do and got the minimum amount of votes to pass that cloture vote. So I do think that we are on our way to the government opening back up. And from there, it gets infinitely more complicated. But what we care about here is that the government gets opened back up. So that is the long and short of the news. Tim, any of that excite you? Any of that stick out as important?
If you can't tell by my face, I'm extremely excited about it. No, I really am. It's going to be interesting to see how. I think the significance, though, with the Polymarket. Remember last week we told you a lot of times, even though they're not 100%, Polymarket probably is going to give you a very good indication of what's happening because insiders can trade on it. My best guess, Friday, Polymarket was telling us, I think, a 60-something% chance that it was going to extend past the 16th.
Yeah.
Probably because at that point there were no positive talks. It started to change last night. Even before the announcement came out, you started to see Polymarket lose that percentage it would extend past the 16th. And then the goal of it being between the 12th and the 15th, I think, started to increase. Then, of course, Donald Trump let out the announcement. I think other officials get the announcement that they've come to terms. They've come to agreement. Now, I think they've come to verbal terms. This whole process is still going to play out. Like Trump is saying, officially, technically, the government is not open just yet. And just as fast as they came to terms, never be surprised when people in Washington, D.C., and I'm not going to pick on one party in general because both suck, right? Let's just be honest. I think that's one thing all of us can agree. We would love to see something different than Republicans and Democrats, but that's what we're stuck with. They both suck. They both always find a way to throw the wrench in the system, right? As something seems to start getting good, one of them decides to screw it up. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's keep hopeful. That should happen later this week, but I think that could be a very big thing. Seeing it over 80-something%, they're going to pass it. You got to feel pretty good that this week we will see the government shutdown end. And let's be honest, I definitely want to see my markets and I want to see my portfolio go up again, and I think that will happen when it's official. I also am thinking about, I know lots of people in my life, there's probably people watching this show right now that your job is tied to the U.S. government and you haven't worked for over a month. I want it to end for you guys. I want people to get back to work. I want to see the economy do well again. I want to see markets go up. I want to see people thrive. So I'm hoping and praying it does open back up. By the way, guys, big change. But share my screen here, Smay. Some of you don't know about this. In fact, when I say some, none of you, literally, because it's something we decided earlier today. This is the channel you'll see in the at Tim Warren Trade. Excuse me, at Tim Warren Trading. Instead of using this for trading updates, we've had a long talk about this. We decided to pull the trigger today. If you guys love Shrum and the news takes, we've been doing that for our free Discord group. We're going to extend it out here. We're going to change this channel into a Shrum channel where every morning he's free. There will be mornings he's not available, but we will be using this channel every single morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to go through the news. When I say we, it's going to be Taylor Shrum. Now, here's a little dispute, and Shrum, you're going to get upset here, but I'm going to use my platform right now to argue with you and get the opinion of the people. What does the name of that channel read right there? Smay, don't bring Shrum up. Smay, I want you to come on screen for a second. Can you read what's the name of this channel right here?
I have no way of bringing just me and you up, but wow. So
you don't have a button for that?
Hold on. I can do something. Hold on. 1 second.
You gotta hurry.
I'm making him.
This is
go
supposed
away.
to be quicker.
All right,
there we go.
Gone. All right, it's just me and you.
Good. He's not allowed to talk.
Yeah. What do you got for me?
Go back to my screen real quick. What does that name say on that channel?
It says Crypto Morning News.
Isn't that a dumb name? Shouldn't this name just be Taylor Shrum? Shouldn't this be a picture of a good-looking guy who reads news every single morning at 10 a.m. instead of Tim Warren Trading logo and a channel name called Crypto Morning News? That's Smay, bring it back up. Bring you and me, not Shrum. He doesn't get to talk right now. He's giving his piece. Don't you think it would be 10 times better if this channel was called Taylor Shrum, if it had a picture of him on the logo? And I'm asking all the people in chat to answer this as well. Don't you think that would be a better name than Crypto Morning News?
Well, Tim, absolutely. I think that's exactly the right course of action here, and I don't know why Shrum is being so defiant.
Yeah. So in chat, let us know. Do you agree with me, or do you think I'm wrong, and that Crypto Morning News and the Tim Warren Trading logo is the perfect thing for this channel? Let us know in chat. Shrum, you can come back on now. You're back out of hiding. You don't get to talk about it right now, right? So this is the Tim Warren channel, where even though you own 50% of it, so technically you own just as much as me, it has my name and my face on it. So I get to talk about this. You get to give your takes over there about your opinions because it's going to have your name on that channel. Do you think that's a bad decision?
You know what, Tim? After seeing the undeniable outcry in the live chat right now, I am going to have to concede, just like the Democrats,
that's kind of better than I thought.
There is only one solution, and it is that it has to be changed to my name. And it's crazy that I didn't see the truth before, but it really takes a community to come to these types of conclusions.
Yeah. We're just going to move on here. Let us know in chat. Do you guys want it to be the Taylor Shrum channel? That's what I want it to be. I want you guys to go follow. Some of you guys love him way more than you love me, and that's my thought process. So you'll have a whole channel where you don't have me whatsoever. It's just Taylor Shrum, the greatest thing that God's ever given us. That's my vote, right? So you guys let me know in the chat. Let's do some technical analysis. I asked you guys in chat, what coin of the TA do you guys want to see? Let's go over here. It looks like now 42% of you are saying 43% now. Chainlink, 25% HBAR, 21 ADA. Not a lot of Caspilov in here. Not a lot of Caspilov. I would have thought, especially after Moon Madness, we'd have more Caspians in here. Let's start off with Chainlink. HBAR has, someone said in chat earlier, HBAR is one of the best performing top 20 coins. Is Uniswap not a top 20 coin? Did that fall out? Let's go look at that real quick. I thought Uniswap was in the top 20. Did it fall off? It did. Okay. I stand corrected. Where's Uniswap now? It fell all the way down there. All right.
39.
All right. HBAR, ladies and gentlemen. We got to start there. We got to give it its flowers. Top moving coin of the top 20. How about them apples? Now, good news if you hold HBAR. The only bad news is we have a daily buy signal. Green reversal, bullish momentum, positive money flow. Really, it came in here on the 9th. Today's the 10th. So this flashed yesterday on us before this big run up, right? So you could have gotten in on this trade with this indicator back here at 17.6 cents. And it has a target of at least right here to 20 cents that I would have said is a good target. Do we pop up here towards 20.7? Sure. Here's the problem. We're most of the way there already. I'm going to imagine, similar to what I've seen with other projects here, we're going to see a 4-hour sell signal that's in play that probably wants it to pull back. It's not, the 4-hour sell signal is not really there yet. So you might have a little bit more juice here before that happens. But I think it's not crazy to think that we will see a pullback back here towards 17.7 cents at the moment here for HBAR. So good run here today. It is breaking through some former support turned resistance a little bit here. But I don't know if we're quite ready to say, here's also, I think this is one you probably could say the bottom is in. Like if you're thinking we're going to be able to beat down here at 15.7, I don't know if a pullback comes back down that far or not. But again, I could see coming back down towards 17 something. Fibonacci wise, let's just even take a look at how that would look. Whether it's right in here, let's just kind of put our targets up here. We said 20 point something cents. Golden pocket coming in here, guess where? 17.6. So watch for that for a nice pullback on HBAR over the next 2 days is what I would be suggesting there. But it is good news. Daily buy signals are great. One of the things that I would suggest to people, daily buy signals come and go, right? So we just had a daily buy signal also back here in October. We had another one before that here in September. You can see here, look at this one here in September, 2 in September. When you get a daily buy signal, you get very good targets of where to trade to, okay? Daily buy signals do not guarantee you anything crazy bullish is happening. When we get weekly buy signals, though, these have, for the majority of things, been longer-term great times to buy. We're close. We actually do have a green dot here. We need to see the money flow go positive. It's not there yet, but we do have a lot of other things we need for a weekly buy signal. By the way, last couple weekly buy signals, let's just make sure we're clear on these. We had a nice one back here, the week before July 7th. We had a nice one right in here. Now, this wasn't the greatest one. This one you could maybe say ended up being disappointing, but you had one of those manipulation dips down, and then we went up to the upside. So still kind of good. You had a good one here, April 21st-ish. Really, really good one back in here. Again, little manipulation move down. Here's a great example. Buy signal comes in, guess when? September 16th. We had to wait a couple more weeks, but if you were anticipating that little move there, if you were a little patient, massive run up here for HBAR. This is how these signals end up working. So I'll get really, really, really bullish. Really bullish the next time we get a weekly buy signal. And I do think we're a couple of weeks away. We're close. But for now, you do want to enjoy on those daily buy signals. It's just we're kind of coming towards the end of the buy signal for HBAR. So I would not be looking at entering a long position right now. If you want to DCA into HBAR at current levels, be my guest. I think HBAR is one that will shoot higher. But if you're saying, Tim, do you think this is the best time in the next couple of days to buy HBAR? Can't lie to you, I don't think it is. I think we do have a little bit of a correction coming. Chainlink was the one with the most votes. You guys know I love me some Chainlink. I'm never gonna try to weasel out of Chainlink, but I wanted to leave it up to the people. If you guys had voted and no one wanted Chainlink TA, I would have pushed it off for another day. But you voted for it, so that's good. So I get to do Chainlink TA. Chainlink, of course, does have a good little buy signal coming in. Now, something to be aware of. While we have a buy signal here on Chainlink, you guys remember I told you here a second ago, when you get this red box doesn't guarantee anything, right? Nothing in technical analysis is guaranteed, but I don't ignore these red boxes. This is a part of this indicator that says the key lower time frames. In this case, we're talking about the 12-hour, and I want to say the other one is the wait, no, this is the 4. Excuse me. I apologize. The two key time frames lower than this, it's talking about the 4-hour and the 1-hour. It's telling us the 4-hour and the 1-hour are bearish, or at least extremely close on Chainlink. This is the 4-hour. Sure enough, there you go. It is. Red reversals. Bearish momentum. That money flow is going negative. By the way, it itself still has a red box. So it's turning bearish, and its lower time frames are bearish. This one will reflect the 1-hour and the 30 minutes. Let's go look over there for a second. 1 hour. Still very bearish here in a second. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. Boom. There's actually a little bit of a short-term bottom coming in here. This one telling us buy. So this one would suggest the 15-minute is starting to turn bullish. So look for some bounces right in here. What does this ultimately kind of mean? It means, when I zoom in here, we're probably, as you can see, we're in a little bounce here. We're probably going to come back up here a little bit higher here on shorter time frames and then keel over and start our descent back down. On that 4-hour chart, it would suggest, based on that sell signal, a lot of things can happen. I always love the middle of these order blocks. That's a fat order block to work with here. A climbing smart trail right here. I'm going to put my levels somewhere here around 1553. Let's put a line there. Let me find some confirmation on other time frames to see what else is out there. But I'm gonna say 1553 is interesting in my opinion for a pullback here on Chainlink. What's the 1 hour say in the way of? Good. That's kind of what I was looking for. Is there an order block or something of significance in this region? Sure enough, there is an order block right there. If that gets lost down here towards 1513 is a nice order block as well. The support from back here on November 9th here yesterday. But I'm going to probably be looking. If you're telling me, Tim, should I buy right now or wait? I would tell you, and I can't guarantee you this is the bottom of this move. Can't guarantee you that. But I think you're going to have a good chance at 1550 on Chainlink. If these charts end up being accurate, which again, I'm not going to claim 100%. These indicators are not 100%. They have been closer towards like 90%. They have been pretty good at what they're doing. And right now, that 4 hour chart, even though we have some bullish stuff happening, I'm just predicting here another higher low on Chainlink back down towards that 1550. There is some key reasons for that support level. So keep an eye out for that. All right. Some good TA right there. By the way, if you guys are looking for a place to trade all of this, we do have a new relationship, new partner with an exchange called Toobit. Toobit is going to be where we recommend is where I am trading right now. Here's a couple of reasons why. Number one, liquidity is awesome. The liquidity on Toobit is phenomenal. If you don't know what that means, when you're trading, there are fees. If you stay in longer term trades, which I do from time to time, those fees can add up. You have funding rates that end up stacking up. I have found Toobit to be at least 2 times, if not more, better in liquidity than almost any other exchange I've ever used. Meaning, for example, let's say I'm in a trade on a different platform. Like I also used to use Blowfin. Nothing against Blowfin. But it was regular to spend, let's just say on one trade, I would spend an additional $50 to stay into a long-term trade. Okay, if I'm going to make a couple $1,000 off the trade, whatever. $50 isn't a lot. If the trade is open on Blowfin and I have to pay $50 to stay in the trade, I guarantee you the price on Toobit is going to be a little bit closer towards like $10 or less because the liquidity is so much more. Their customer service is top notch. Their handling of October 10th, when a lot of people lost a whole lot of money, Toobit handled it like champs. Anyone who lost money unfairly for no reason whatsoever, Toobit went out of their way to help reimburse them for their losses. To me, those are some pretty big reasons for my switch over to Toobit. Check it out in the link down below in our link tree. You can go start using Toobit today. Also, to incentivize you, make sure you're using our links. This announcement will come out maybe next week. We will be having some giveaways for our Toobit users. We'll tell you how to apply. We'll do both cash giveaways. We'll give people access to my trading setups. You won't see the live trading group. You won't get Academy. You won't get my live trading stuff, but you will be able to see what I'm trading, how I'm trading it. If you want to see my entry points for my longs, my shorts, where I'm taking profit, stop losses, you get it. When you sign up and use our Toobit link, you will get access to that stuff. We'll tell you more about how to access that later this week. We got to work out some details there, but go check out Toobit when you get the chance. Let's get a couple more questions here, and then we'll wrap it up. Again, my voice is probably about done. It's on fire. So as you did not know, I'm pretty sure I have strep throat today, but the show must go on. But some big price action happening today. We need to talk about what's going on here. But Shrum, any news you're seeing, any questions you're seeing that you want to respond to?
I'm not seeing a ton of crazy questions, but I do see some good ones. Okay. Let's see. Daru Copy 187 said, I'm currently trading on Toobit, up over 90% on Link Long. Very good. Very good. Says he may close it soon. So he's looking to exit that trade. Decision. In profit.
I would definitely at least take some profit and raise stop losses up into break even at this point, even if you leave it open a little bit. Like I said, when we were looking at time frames, you're looking at things like daily buy signals, 4 hour sell signals, but then when you start to go like towards the 15-minute chart, you might see buy signals coming back in. It's choppy, it's a little thing, but there's a process happening right now. My imagination is we'll see a little bit more upside here of next couple of maybe next hour or two, maybe a little bit more than that. We'll top out again, and then my guess is this is a guess right here, so don't take this to the bank. Do your own analysis. I will not be surprised if we go to bed tonight with price not crazy down from where it currently is, and we wake up tomorrow morning to price down low. Why? Because I think that Asia will be taking some profits here tonight. They look at those same signals. They see it's a little overextended right now. We're hitting some resistance. I would not be surprised to see the morning a little lower than we are right now. But we'll see. We'll see how that one plays out.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting commentary here. People seem excited for the news YouTube channel. I mean, look, guys, there's a lot of folks who have enjoyed the news that we do every single morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do it in the Discord every single day. You can even go back and watch every single one. I wouldn't encourage you to do that necessarily, but we logged them all. So yeah, that'll be fun to do on YouTube. Now we'll do that. Let's see. Uniswap also had a headline earlier. It did. I think it just booked a major landmark in total swap volume. So that was pretty exciting for Uniswap. Yeah, I want TA on Say, but that wasn't on the list, said Safer. Look, folks, if you want more TA, come and join us in our free Discord. But if you're ready to take trading, if you're ready to take investing seriously, go ahead and make that commitment and join our trading Discord. You don't have to do it forever. You can just jump in there. There's been a decent amount of folks who just said, hey, look, I want to try it for a month, right? And 9 times out of 10, they've stuck around because they've realized, wow, this is actually answering all of these crazy minute questions I never thought I would get answered, right? That's what a lot of folks don't get started trading because they think, I'm smart. I know I'm smart, but I don't think I could ever trade because people have to answer the specific questions I have. That's what we love doing. We answer the very specific questions that you might have that's keeping you from thriving as a trader.
Yeah, we were talking about it this weekend during our webinar. If you guys missed that, there's a replay on that in our free Discord, by the way. You can look at the Tim's 10 rules for trading. But we were walking through things. I didn't even done the numbers. So if you're wondering, what do I get? I've been hearing Tim and Shrum and Smay talk about this VIP trading group. Why is it worth it? Why would I join that? So a couple things there. Not only is it a Discord with other traders who are trading and trying to make money, just like you, there's several pro traders in there that have extremely high profit rates and help people understand not just even where to get in and where to get out, but why they're looking at those levels. We are on average doing like 4 to 6 live trades weekdays. So not always on Saturday and Sunday, but Monday through Friday between myself and several other pro traders, along with Shrum and Crux. On average, it's 4 to 6 live shows every single day on top of the free YouTube stuff, right? There are trade setups with all of our pro traders where we give you our trade setups, entries, exits, leverage levels, why we're entering. There's an academy in there for higher level entries where you can learn about the basics of technical analysis. Like Shrum said, go check it out. 1 month, right? Not that much money for 1 month commitment. See what it's about. But I truly believe that our VIP trading group is one of the best values you're going to find out there when you look at the price it is per month compared to the amount of content and information we're putting out on a daily basis. And you look at the win rates from some of the people in there, I find it hard to believe that people will not pay off their memberships and more within just a couple of days or maybe one trade into that trading group. So go check it out when you get the chance. I'm going to wrap it up here today. I'm honestly surprised we made it to this point in the show. 5 minutes still till the top of the hour, but we've done the information. My voice is about done. Normally I do live trading tonight at 7 p.m., but I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys right now, all of my VIP traders in here, I'm going to take a break here tonight. I do have an update. I'm about to go post over there about my current trade for Bitcoin. So make sure if you're a VIP trader, go check that out here in just a second. The rest of you, we'll be back tomorrow. Even if my voice is still on fire, we'll record a video for tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. I'm going to be doing some updates on some of your favorite altcoins out there. With that said, love you guys. Smash like, hit subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow. Adios.